guys, how are you this morning? Well, by the time you see this, it'll probably be lunchtime, afternoon, but hello and happy Tuesday. In Tuesday tradition over the last few weeks, I have shared a recipe, so today is no different. I am going to share with you a chocolate chip muffin recipe. This is a recipe I've used for years with my kids, or in my home for breakfast muffins. The kids' favorite is chocolate chip. We also like to have pumpkin, but stay tuned, and I've got other things to share as well. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how I make my muffins. This is just chocolate chip muffins. It's one of the basic recipes that excuse me, the boys really love. You're going to need, this is a quarter cup of butter melted. I do not use margarine, I use regular butter, 1 egg, 3/4 a cup of milk. I like to drop my egg into the milk, even though it sounds gross. And I'm going to kind of beat that together. The thing about muffins, when we make homemade muffins, you don't want to overmix once you get the flours in. So mixing everything together really good before you add the flour and chocolate chips, then you will have a very tender muffin. So I kind of just mix all the wet stuff together. I use whole milk because that is what we drink in our house. The recipe just says milk, so you may substitute for whatever. Also, I'm going to add in a dash of vanilla. And then it's going to be 3/4 a cup of brown sugar. This is a recipe I have been using for years. I'm talking the kids were itty bitty. I used to buy the mixed kind, but homemade is so fast and so easy that I just do them because they taste a million times better. Besides chocolate chip, pumpkin muffins are our other favorite. Okay, so I want to kind of mix that in together just to dissolve the brown sugar. Perfect, good enough. It will all get mixed in here in a minute. Then I'm going to add my salt and my baking soda. I'm sorry, baking powder, not soda. So it's 2½ teaspoons of baking powder. I am going to have to put some more of this on my grocery list. That's 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons, 2½ teaspoons. It does not call for baking soda. And then it's a teaspoon of salt. I've made this so many times, but I still double check those 2 things because baking is a science and you can surely have an explosion. Then, my friends, let me tell you, the only thing you have to add now is your flour and chocolate chips. I have my chocolate chips in a bag because they ripped open on me. I think the last time I made muffins. And I'm going to put a whole cup of chocolate chips in there. You could put less, but you are not me. And then it is a cup and 3/4 of flour. 1. And I eyeball it because I have done this recipe so many times. I don't necessarily measure perfectly. That's about. Then you just stir it all together. That's it, my friends. That's your chocolate chip muffin recipe. Look at that. Not 5 minutes in and you got your dough. Now, my oven is preheated to 400. These will cook for 18 minutes perfectly. I sprayed my muffin tin really well with non-stick spray. It is stained, it is old, I need new, but whatever. I used the 1/4 cup scoop that I measured the sugar out with because it's the perfect size to make the perfect muffin. This is just your standard muffin tin. The regular size, like your cupcake pan, muffin pan, whatever kind of pan you want to call it. I'm going to set that to the side. Again, 18 minutes in an oven that's preheated to 400. That is Fahrenheit. If you live in higher altitudes, you may have to make the adjustments you normally make when you bake. I don't know what that would be. Texas does not have altitude. We're pretty much sea level. And it looks like it made 11 instead of 12, and that's okay. I'll put this one in. Sorry. It's scraping up off the edges to at least sort of fill that. That, however, will not have chocolate chips in it. It is just a filler, so since it has no chocolate in it, maybe the doggy can have it as a treat. That's it. I'll show you when they're done. Okay, I just pulled them out of the oven. Now I'll let them cool for about 45 seconds or so, and then I use just your run-of-the-mill tablespoon, skip around the edge, and pull them out. I do like to do this when it's hot because it comes out much easier. Of course, except for that one because it was on camera. What the heck? Okay, for the most part, they came out pretty well, and that is it. So the boys will have chocolate milk and probably some fruit with that, and that will be breakfast. Sometimes I'll toss in some sausage. Just depends. I've got my tea this morning. So good. Okay. I really kind of wanted to read something. Let me just start from the beginning. As you guys know, I'm in Texas, and right now, because our weather is crazy, everyone's weather seems to be nutso everywhere. But we have had, our pollen is high. Our tree pollen, grass pollen's getting there, but tree pollen is really high. Like Sunday when I went outside, my whole car was yellow. It was gross. And silly me, it was just such a beautiful day. I opened our windows, and I probably shouldn't have, because I started getting a headache. And you hear Shelby playing. I'm not going to tell her to stop, sorry. I started getting a headache Sunday evening, I guess, and then I woke up yesterday with it, and it just kept on and kept on and kept on. And so I went to bed early, passed the torch to one of the kids with the dog, and you good girl. Was you playing with your Bucky? Was you playing with your Bucky? I went to bed. I just knew that I took another dose of Aleve, and I went to sleep. And at 10 something, I thought I heard a rumble of thunder. Hi. Oh, you're gonna shoot the Bucky with me. Ha ha ha, I got it. Come on this side. There you go. I heard a rumble of thunder, and she is terrified of thunder, even though she's a big dog. Thunder just scares her, which made her decide to jump on our bedroom door. And usually she doesn't do that. Usually she's very, very good. And last night was an exception. Do you see the school bus? Are the little kids going to school now? Say bye, friends. Your friends going to school? Are the little ones? Are they going to school? Oh yes, go look at the window. So I got up, took her outside, and then she seemed calm. She was fine. It wasn't thundering, it wasn't raining. So I just went back to bed, and then here she comes again, just banging on the door. So finally, to stop that, I just gave her a little lovin', and I put her in her kennel. And I figured she doesn't spend a lot of time in her kennel, but she also needs to know that she's not supposed to do that in the middle of the night just because she wants attention. You know, we still have to discipline pets too. So anyway, I was wide awake at that point. And I was laying there, and I was just kind of flipping through different things. And then I found this beautiful quote, and I shared it on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this, and you saw what I wrote on it. But I want to just share something else with it. The quote was, "Just be yourself. Let people see the real, imperfect, flawed, quirky, weird, beautiful, magical person that you are." And I'm going to tell you, this goes into something that I was already touched by yesterday, which I will share in a goals video coming up. Probably by the end of this week, before the new month starts, because I do have something I want to share on those lines right there. But it says, I also added, you know, on Instagram you put pictures, but I always have to add just my own thoughts to it. I put, "You won't catch me following trends, trying to be something I'm not. I am unique, and it's fun sharing all my quirky and flawed traits with you as I boldly live my life unapologetically and as authentically as I can. Do not be afraid to shake off those expectations of what society says you must become. They do not have a say unless you want them to." Hashtag be you. Hashtag be authentic. Hashtag live the life. Hashtag unapologetically me. Hashtag YouTube creator. Hashtag be inspired. Hashtag one pretty little box. Hashtag writer. Hashtag author. I love hashtags, but that's where you find your tribe. Then I just want to kind of share something that, as I shared that, I was laying there thinking, how amazing is it that I got to spend 13 years with 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. 13 years with the most purest, perfect beings on this planet. And it's because they've been untouched by society's expectations of them. So I'm laying there and I'm thinking, and I'm like, oh, give me my phone, hit my notes. I don't ever use my notes, but I thought, I want to write this down while I'm thinking of it. And as I'm thinking of it, because I'm going to use it in something. I didn't know if it would be a video, a blog post, just a random social media post. But it's almost like my anthem right now. to live unapologetically and as authentically as I can. And if I'm going to do that, that means I'm not going to apologize for being different than you. I'm not going to apologize for being different than what you expect me to be as a YouTube creator, as a wife and a mother, as a secretary, as a writer. I'm not going to actually probably fit into any of your expectations of that, because I am me, and only I know what's inside my mind and my heart and my intentions. Only I know what really starts my actions, what sets them apart from yours. And it's beautiful. Just like everything about you is the same. Everything about you is beautiful too, unless you bow down to those who say you have to fit into this box. Then you're just a carbon copy, cookie cutter, want to fit in follower. And sadly, I've even seen that in the 3, 4, 5-year-old stage. And it's sad because someone has already broken their spirit. It's really sad when it takes an adult as long as it's taken me to really break through and say, Psh, I love who I am. I think I'm fabulous. I really do. You might not, and that's okay. But I know it sounds conceited to what a world standard is, but I don't care. I'm happy. I could be happy by myself. I'm happier being myself around the ones that I love, because I give them the freedom to be themselves too. Even if they're in a bad mood, go ahead, be in your bad mood. Go be the bad mood you are that you need to be. Whatever, because it doesn't affect me. I have found this new confidence in the last probably week, and I don't know where it actually rooted from, or maybe it's just taken so long for those roots to actually get down deep enough to make a difference. I don't know. And it's really funny because yesterday I was kind of down. I was kind of in a mood, but then I realized it must have been the headache. It must have been the headache. So I want to read the memo that I wrote because it's apparently for a video. Maybe I'll expand on it sometime on a blog post, and if I do, then it'll be linked down below. If I don't, I don't. I'm not going to apologize for any of that. So here we go. I'm going to read my note to you. And then I have another little thing to add, I think. I'm not sure. I may have already said it. So when we are very young, we live life in such a way that joy abounds. We live in a place where we do not long for approval nor fear judgment. We don't even know what those things are. We easily learn from mistakes without a sudden feeling of shame or intrepidation. We're not intimidated. We're not scared. We're not afraid of failure, because failure is nothing but a reason to try again. We have no worries about tomorrow because deep down we trust that all will be okay, and we accept that we lack nothing in this life. We don't fear that we won't have enough money. We don't fear that we don't have enough food in our homes. We don't fear that we're not a good enough mother. We don't fear that we're not a good enough wife. We don't fear that our friends are backstabbing us. We don't fear that someone's talking about us. We don't fear the comments, we don't fear the judgment of anyone. We don't fear it because we don't know. It doesn't exist. Judgment only exists if you accept it and if you partake in it. Somewhere along the way, we lose that mindset, and society and generational insecurities begin to set in. Nobody talks about generational insecurities. They talk a lot about generational curses. But what about those generational insecurities? The insecurities that come from broken homes. The insecurities that come from parents who worried about bills and money all the time. All that is in you because that's something that was bred in you unintentionally. Your environment created those insecurities. You gotta let them go. Gotta let them go. Once you let those insecurities go, you will see your life bloom and blossom in ways that you have not seen in a long time. Very few can break through and get back to the proper mindset in which we were created to hold onto for our entire lives. Everything we have to offer is enough. Everything we need to prosper and grow is available. We just must reset our minds for wholeness, mending the broken pieces by living a genuine, unapologetic, and authentic life from the moment we wake up until our eyes close for slumber at night. Just as our lungs take in oxygen to give our bodies life, our mindsets can move us forward into living this amazing life or leave us behind, with the masses barely making it through the day. That's a lot to digest. It's a lot to ponder. I want you to think about it. There's going to be more on that subject. I have decided that I have done Motivational Monday for a few years. I say a few years, but you guys know I've not really been so consistent in videos on a regular basis outside probably of the last 6 months, maybe at the most. But Motivational Monday was something I always look forward to doing because it gave me a chance to motivate others. It gave me a chance to share things that might improve your week. But I realized last week that it's time for a change. I know that many people use a Motivational Monday tag and they're cleaning, which is fine. Or they're sharing whatever, which is great. But then I realized it doesn't matter how much you motivate somebody if their mindset is not in the correct place. So from this point forward, I am going to be doing Mindset Mondays, where I give you ways to change your mindset and to get you prepared to live an amazing life that you deserve to live. Month by month, day by day, I'm learning so much myself. Sorry, this eyeshadow is bothering me. It's taking me this long to finally say, forget it, I'm gonna fix it. It's taken me a long time to get to the point that I am right now where I can just say, I love my life. Every bit and piece of it. Every little bitty tiny thing. Every detail. It's not all perfect, but that's what makes it unique. That's what makes it mine. It has flaws in it. My relationships have flaws in them. They're not perfect, but that's what makes us grow and continue to love and to continue to learn to be loved. Some of us don't have a hard time loving others. We just have a hard time letting others love us and learning to love ourselves. It's easy to love someone else, but when you can sit and you can look in a camera or a mirror and you can say, man, you know what? You're beautiful. Some days I can see the beauty. Some days I can't. And the days that I can't are days that I have to dig deep. And I need to figure out what it is that I need to shed so that I can continue to live unapologetically and authentically. Because the more I do it, the more I can help lead others to do the same thing. So that is that. I'm going to move on into the recipe. I will show you definitely a picture at the end. I will tell you, the boys like to eat theirs just like they are. Like I said in the video, a lot of times I'll pair it with fruit, milk, sausage to make it a complete meal. Sometimes I'll even make eggs with it. It's kind of like a side. They like them as an afternoon snack. Between two athletes though, there's really nothing left after a batch. So if you are feeding several, definitely double the recipe. It's very economical. I don't know about you, but I always have these ingredients on hand, including chocolate chips. I've learned just to keep a bag in the pantry for the moment when someone wants to whip up some quick chocolate chip cookies or muffins. So I personally like to eat one warm, cut in half with a little bit of butter on it. It is very delicious and very tasty. It does not need the butter, but you know what? I like it that way. And that is that. It is a very versatile recipe. You could probably substitute the sweeteners to whatever sweetener you use. I use regular all-purpose flour. You could substitute whatever flour you have on hand. I'm not sure texture-wise what you need to do to adjust. I use all-purpose flour. I don't mess with anything else. Oh my gosh, these pets. And with that, I am gonna go. So you guys, I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. I'll see you later. Bye. How delicious did that look? I hope you do give these muffins a try. Like I said, they are a family favorite. And make sure that you click on one of the videos that pop up either on each side of me or at the end card. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this video. I don't know if I have enough time to edit it on the computer or if I'm just going to use the app on my phone because it's quick and easy and it helps me be consistent. So I will talk to you guys in the next video. If this video encouraged you, inspired you in any way, or gave you motivation to get in your kitchen and make some muffins, give it a thumbs up. If you are new, I would love it if you subscribed. And don't forget to share with your friends. I am hoping to get to, my goal for YouTube is 1,000 subscribers, and I would love to hit it by my anniversary, which is in May, the weekend after Mother's Day. And so when I hit it, I do have a surprise for you guys, but I'm not going to push that. I'm not going to kind of advertise that right now. I'm not ready to. I'm ready just to let my channel grow authentically and unapologetically as it needs to. Bye.